We're looking back at this day in local history. A longtime law enforcement officer who was also an actor on the side was laid to rest 9 years ago today. Malcolm McMillan had served as sheriff of Hinds County for 19 years. And like the current sheriff, he also briefly served as Jackson Police Chief. He had a reputation of being tough but fair, but he also enjoyed acting. McMillan performed in multiple shows over the years at Jackson's New Stage Theater. He suffered several strokes after leaving office, and he was 72 when he died. Malcolm McMillan is laid to rest on December 26, 2016. Your look at this day in history.